First of all, how'd you come out of that health-wise? Looked like LeBron tweaked his ankle again, and just overall, what'd you think of the offense tonight?
Yeah, well, like you said, Braun tweaked his elbow, tweaked his ankle. We're going to list him as questionable for tomorrow night. See how he feels tomorrow. And Alex Crusoe also strained a muscle in his hand. Same deal. We'll list him as questionable. See how he feels tomorrow. Alex probably could have returned if it were a closer game, but we erred on the side of caution. And offensively, really liked their ball movement. I thought Kuz set a great tone for us early in the game. We're really trying to grow his movement, catch and shoot game, and it was just a great night for him, showing all the work he's been putting in. But really set a tone for us, moving the ball, shooting threes that are open, and Mark at the top of the key. We finally saw sort of what we can look like when we play through him with his passing up there.
Okay, we're gonna go with David Veneman.
Frank, considering what we spoke about this morning in the pregame about AD and the nature of back-to-backs and the intention of playing guys, but obviously if there's anything extenuating that would change things, are you leaning any way on LeBron tomorrow, considering it is a back-to-back and obviously the ankle's now been tweaked twice in 3 games?
Not really leaning one way or the other. We're gonna see how he feels tomorrow, and we'll make those decisions on a case by case, game by game basis throughout the year. And if he's healthy and wants to play, we'll put him in there. But we'll see how he feels tomorrow.
Okay, we're gonna go with Dan Mikey, please.
Hey Frank, Kyle has always been a willing kind of shooter and scorer, but there was a play in the first half, I think, where he's on a fast break and he makes the extra pass to get KCP a layup. He had the 2 block shots. How much of it do you think tonight was the other things in the first half in addition to the shot making?
Well, Kuz has really become a hell of a player, and playing in the role that he played in last year, where there was games where he wasn't really that involved in the offense and had to impact the game in other ways. I think in the long run is really, really, really going to help his game. So many young players, they come into this league in different environments, and they're asked to carry a big load offensively. And when you're doing that, sometimes you shortcut some of the other parts of the game. And Kuz has really worked on his defense. He's really worked on his rebounding, his cutting, his running the floor, all those types of things. And I think you saw that tonight when he started scoring the ball, that he didn't force. That was the most impressive thing I think of his night, is when he got red hot. When the ball was swinging to him, defense was rotating. He didn't take heat check type shots. He just kept moving it on to the next guy. When he was open, he knocked it down. And I was just really impressed with that aspect of his game tonight.
Okay, Bill Orm, please.
Hey, Frank, you talked before the game about how this game would test your depth. I'm just curious if you learned anything about about that depth in a situation where you didn't have one of your 2 stars and you didn't necessarily know who was going to step up. Was this how you saw it working, or did you learn something you didn't know about your team?
Well, this is what I hoped we would be. And this team was undermanned, so when we learned that Cat was out, it becomes a trap game, right? Their best player's out, and they have an opportunity to come in here and catch us sleeping, and we didn't do that. There's a lot of upsets around the league today, and our guys came in with the mindset that we weren't happy with our defense the first 2 games. We want to really pick that up, and we really got after it. And that, like you said, the depth, I think, was on display tonight with the many ways that this team can put points on the board, and the defensive talent that we have as well.
Okay, Joe Garden, please.
Hi, Frank. Greetings from Cleveland.
Hi, Joe.
Hi. I'm asking a question tonight from here because Dwight played against JaVale here, and in this new era of Zoom, I actually had the opportunity to do that, to ask him, just ask for the comparison about moving on from those two guys who were your center and they played the same role, moving towards Mark, who I saw had a nice game tonight, but hadn't really been able to get into the flow. How's the transition been from the Dwight, JaVale style of play to how you can play with Mark?
Yeah, well, it's definitely different, but I think all four of those guys are really good players. JaVale and Dwight were terrific for us last year. Helped us win a championship. We're a big part of it. And Trez and Mark, have a great resume themselves. So different styles of play. You tweak your system, a little bit to try to fit their skill sets, and that's what we're in the process of right now with regard to, like you mentioned, Mark's first couple of games, not really being that involved, but tonight he was fantastic. We were able to kind of get a feel for his skill set and take advantage of it.
Thank you, Frank.
Okay, we'll just do a couple more questions here. Jovan, Luha?
Hey Frank, speaking about Mark, I'm curious what you thought about his performance tonight and how much of a concerted effort did you guys make to get him involved in the offense and those above the break looks that he had?
Yeah, we've been talking about it. We just didn't do it enough the first two games, and like I said, we were really moving the basketball well as a group. It wasn't just calling Mark's play to play through him at the top of the key. We were in attack mode. Guys were thinking extra pass, and then the ball swings to him up top, and everybody knows when the ball swings to Marc Gasol, that triggers movement. And you see the cutting, you see his ability to to pinpoint some of those passes. And then just the space that he carries the threat of shooting the three ball brings the other team's center away from the basket. So there's more driving lanes, cutting lanes, etc. He knocked down 3 for 3 from the three-point line and really just had a great night. And honestly, he was great on the defensive end as well. Our guys are really starting to pick up the details of our scheme, and he did a great job on both sides of the ball.
Okay, last question. We're going with Brian Kamenetsky.
Hey, Frank, given the sort of the limited amount of practice time you guys have so far and the need to be really careful with all of your players from a health standpoint, how much more do games need to become kind of a laboratory to see what works, combinations and things like that? Is it more this year than typical?
No question about it. And we've talked openly about that with our group, while these games matter, this is still part of, the first few games is still part of what would normally be a preseason, where you're exploring combinations and, getting guys up to speed with your scheme and teaching things on the fly. We wanted to have the mindset tonight that when we got a big lead, that the score was irrelevant. We're working on our habits. And, that's going to continue, early on throughout the early part of the season.